Witch's Hill.
Even a man who is pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the autumn moon is bright.
Hello and welcome back to Witch's Hill. I'm Pat.
I am Tim.
And we are here with a familiar face of...
Matt.
Yes, you may know him from the Paranormal Investigation team.
Yes. Hello.
And today we're going to be talking about the werewolf and the next installment of Origins of Horror. But before we get into that, if you have any inquiries, you can send them to witcheshillradio@gmail.com.
And why not join us on an episode at facebook.com/witcheshillradio, because we occasionally go on Facebook Live.
Yes, where we do episodes and more. And more, we talk about paranormal stuff.
Spooky.
Yeah, spookies.
Among other things.
Oh, yes. Like
right.
Pasta.
Pasta that is odd.
Odd pasta? Somebody out there is waiting for a creepy pasta joke right now.
Yeah. I didn't want to give it.
It's not going to happen.
Wow.
But I opened that door and just kind of left it open.
And all that stuff is just wafting in here.
So why don't you tell us about the werewolf?
So what is the werewolf?
I don't know. That's what I just asked you.
I don't know. It's a where is it, wolf? Dip. Werewolf literally means man-wolf. I did not know that. Did you guys know that?
Man-wolf?
A werewolf. A werewolf. What?
I did, but I'm a nerd, so...
I was kidding. I knew that. A werewolf is someone who can change into a wolf, either due to being cursed and or forming into one under a full moon, or willingly be able to transform wherever they want to.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, I guess if you're in like a cafeteria, you're tired of waiting in line, just transform into a wolf and get your food.
You're going to freak everyone out, but I mean, yeah, you will get your food faster.
More food for you. And then you could go change in the bathroom and be like, oh, I punched a wolf in the nose and it ran away. Where'd you get all that food? The wolf. I punched it in the nose and it ran away.
Yeah. This makes perfect sense here. Why do you question it?
Well, to the unfortunate souls who are either bitten by one or born one, or apparently if you have, if you've drank water from the footprint of one, I don't know why you would do that.
What if he steps in a lake?
Well, actually, speaking of a lake, actually more of a stream, if you drink water downstream from one where it had just been like drinking all day or peeing, well, you're going to turn into a wolf. Boy, howdy.
Don't want to drink some werewolf pee.
Yeah, my nephew drank some fucking urine that came down from the stream, and boy, now he's a wolf. Where the fuck do people get this? Like
you gotta remember, like, way back in when, no one knew anything about how anything worked.
What, did they ever see, like, the actual transformation? Like, little boy,
no, but they heard their friend,
wolf.
They heard a friend of a friend of a friend told them about something happening a long time ago, and they just don't question it. And so there you have a legend is born.
It's a centuries-long game of telephone.
Precisely.
Guess gets more wild and wild as it goes.
Exactly.
Because werewolf pee.
Yes, and werewolf pee would cause you to grow hair all over your body, on your head, and everything your head would change shape into a wolf's head, but you'd keep your humanoid shape because I don't know. I don't know why.
Just pray it's not as painful as the transformation in an American Werewolf in London.
Can you imagine seeing someone out in the middle of the woods just like, oh, I drink fucking urine, and like they just fall to the ground and they start spasming and turning into a wolf, just screaming at the top of their lungs?
Run.
I would be fucking terrified.
I'd pull out my phone.
I would get the fuck away from that.
I'd take photos and then a selfie.
No, you go live, so then when you're dead, it's still filming. And it was still got out there.
Everybody's watching it. It's just, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Fake. Totally fake.
Precisely.
Fake.
Meanwhile, you're dead.
Yeah, phone found in woods.
Covered in blood. And wolf hair.
Yeah, and wolf hair. Specifically wolf hair.
Fake news.
This did not happen.
Didn't happen.
I live in those woods and I've never seen anything like that.
Says man wolf. It was you. However, let's say if you drink the urine water and next thing you know you're turning into a werewolf, or if you got bit by one, you can be stopped by a silver bullet. I don't know why I was trying to make that sound a lot nicer than it should. No, you're gonna die, but you won't be a wolf anymore.
I mean,
You gotta get shot by a silver bullet. And that's about it when it comes to the old folklore ways of doing things, but yeah. But when did it start?
when did it start?
When did it start? In the Longo land of time, Tim.
Say that again?
Please don't make me do that. In the long ago land of time.
Long ago, land of time.
Yes.
Okay.
Its premiere to the world is arguably in the story of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh jilts an apparent lover due to the fact that he had turned someone she had previously been with into a wolf.
Okay.
He's all like, yeah! In Greek mythology, a king of Arcadia named Lycon served Zeus, Lycon's own son, Nyctimus, to see if Zeus was truly all-knowing, because Zeus, you can't know everything. No. Well, as you can guess, Zeus didn't take kindly to that type of silliness, and turned Lycon and his kin into werewolves. However, Nyctimus was restored to life. Good on you, Zeus. Good guy, Zeus, there. Yeah, restoring life, turning everybody else into wolves. Can you imagine being like that? Like, you're back to life, but fuck those guys. Those are your guys. That's your pet wolf now.
Zeus was messed up. Every Zeus story, like every real Zeus story, is just like either he raped some girl, either as a man or as like an animal, which is really weird. But always human women as an animal.
That almost sounds like the building steps to becoming a furry.
Zeus was a furry, confirmed.
You heard it
here first, folks.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
I could definitely see that being like a building step in the right direction. Did you just do that? Oh my god.
Zeus was the original furry.
Anyway, it was also believed in Greece that if you were to eat meat of a wolf mixed with human meat, you turn into one. And no, there was nothing you could do after eating it. It was like, hey, guess what? What? That was your brother. Bye. You're a wolf now.
I'm just gonna eat that guy. Huh? Fuck you.
Yeah, just like, here's some wolf, but what if we threw in man? Why would we do that? Just what if we did? And then, like, the camp goer fucking eats it, and it's just like, oh, that's what happens. Wolf boy.
Now we have a pet.
Now we have a pet. You lost a son, but we gained a wolf.
We gained our cute little puppers.
Oh my god. In early Nordic folklore goes a story called the Saga of the Volsungs, which tells of a father and son duo coming across wolf pelts that, if worn, would turn you into a wolf for 10 days. So they figured, why not wear them? I mean, I would. So they turned themselves into wolves. And then they went on a killing frenzy for those 10 days. I wouldn't do that part. I just run around and poop. It got to the point where the father ended up attacking his son and nearly killing him. The only reason he was able to survive the attack is because a kind-hearted raven gave him a leaf that would heal him.
Oh, happy little leaf.
Yeah, senzu bean.
Senzu bean.
Got that one in there.
It's a bean, not a leaf.
You know what? No one ever plants them and sprouts them. No one's ever shown that, so I'm going to guess that there's a leaf somewhere.
The Zenzu leaf.
Senzu leaf.
We'll talk more about that later.
Yeah, right. It's a thought-provoking thing. There was a tribe called the Nuri that lived somewhere north of THERES, and the legend had it that they were capable of turning themselves into a wolf once per year. People blame this belief on the fact that they practice shamanism.
Of course.
Yeah, so obviously, if shaman, wolf. Okay. Yeah, I guess that was just socially acceptable back in the day.
Yeah.
So, the Ulfnar. I don't even know if I'm saying that right.
That's okay.
Ulfnar.
Ulfnar.
I'm going to say it's Ulfnar.
Yeah, the Ulfnar. These incredibly strong Norse warriors were referred to as Odin's men and were greatly respected as much as they were feared. They were another shamanistic cult that lived deep in the woods. The strongest of their group were said to have the ability to actually turn into wolves during battle. All of these are convincing reasons to believe they're the inspiration, or rather the birth of the werewolf. Where do you think the horror legend actually started?
It's gotta be from something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You know, like throughout time, like I said, it's a global game of telephone.
Centuries long.
Yeah, exactly. But moving a little bit away from the lore of all these fake accounts, could there honestly be any reality to this? Yes.
Yeah.
To a point.
To a point.
8 points. So let's talk about some real werewolves, which is obviously up to debate, because there is a real diagnosis called clinical lycanthropy, in which a person believes they are the animal.
They are a wolf.
Yeah. They believe that they actually are.
I am wolf.
I identify as a wolf. Is it that kind of idea?
There's a real diagnosis, though, called clinical lycanthropy, in which the person believes they are actually the animal. In other cases, there are people who claim to actually be werewolves and transform into the creature. Such an example is Peter Stump of Germany back in 1589, when he claimed to be in possession of a wolfskin belt that would change him into a wolf. His body would bend into a monstrous form, his teeth would multiply in his mouth, and to top it off, he developed a craving for human blood. He went as far to tell people that over a 25-year span, he had taken at least a dozen lives. Well, that was actually due to torture. So, highly doubtful that that was actually a convincing statement. In fact, what they did to him was use red-hot pincers to remove large portions of his skin, as well as crushing his limbs with large rocks and boulders and apparently the back of an axe.
Yeah, they broke all of his bones. His story is a truly fascinating one, and I would love to do an episode on it someday.
Well, we should. We definitely should.
The Werewolf of Bedburg.
Well, he was then decapitated on Halloween of 1589. People being terrified of the superstition burned his headless body at the stake. People speculate that he had mental illness, but regardless of that, no person deserves to die that sort of death, werewolf or not. It was thought that in the Middle Ages, though, that the witches were actually the cause of werewolves. So the hunt, when thousands of people were dying due to accusations of witchcraft, people were also dying because of being accused of being a wolf, and therefore, in turn, you're a product of Satan.
Why am I not surprised by that? Really quickly, I did want to add, though. Yeah, have you ever seen a picture of Peter Stump?
No.
I think there was like a drawing or a painting or something. I need to double check it, fact check it, considering it's from the 1800s. But
Is it
if
gross?
it isn't, he just looks like a fucking dumpy fuck.
A dumpy fuck?
It's the only way I know how to describe it.
I don't know how to... I just imagined him as, like, egg yolk. You said dumpy, and I was thinking dumplings, and for some reason I went to eggs.
Dumplings make you think of eggs?
You know what? Back to the matter at hand, Tim. We're going to talk about Hans the Werewolf.
Hans?
The
Werewolf?
Disease.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hans the Werewolf. This was another example of mass hysteria in the anti-werewolf and anti-witchcraft trials. In 1651, a young man named Hans was accused of being a werewolf and was put on trial.
Say his name right. Say his name right.
Hans.
Thank you.
God damn it. Okay. He told the story of how he had been given a wolf skin from a man dressed in black. When he put on the skin, he would transform into a wolf. The court ruled that the man in black was the devil, which made him guilty. Hans was executed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Another one bites the dust.
Well, you really think they're going to let him go? Like, we have a werewolf. Let him live.
No, I mean, especially in like what year? What were the years of this?
This was 1691, dude.
It's okay, so this
Or
is like
1651.
mid
1651.
16th century. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
That's a killing.
Prime time, man.
That's an execution.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't like your neighbor? Call him a witch or call him a werewolf. Government will take care of that, or rather, the church, which was
Church
essentially
and
the
an
government
angry,
at
church
that
and
point
an
back
angry
in the day.
mob.
Yeah, there really wasn't any room for like diplomacy or anything back in the day. Anyway, in 1692, a man named Theus was accused of being a werewolf and put on trial. Though he confessed, he gave an odd confession. He claimed that he and a few other wolf friends would transform into werewolves and go into hell to fight Satan's forces 3 times a year.
Guys, we're going for the triannual meetup. Let's go fight the devil, man.
Well, yeah, we have to because this was to, of course, ensure a good harvest.
It's all for the harvest.
For the harvest.
Harvest is coming. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared. The sun is going down.
Is that a true fact that blood makes, like, fucking crops grow more? Or is that just some fucking...
We'll talk about that at our cult meeting next Friday.
Okay, I'll have to bring that up.
I
Yeah.
assume maybe it was like some nutrients from the blood, but I don't think we're gonna see any of those like. I'm imagining crop dusters now when instead of firing off pesticides, they're just
Dropping blood everywhere.
all over it.
Oh, that's going to open up a whole new world of fucking dangers, though.
The smell.
Well, they mix it in with something else. They'd have to put like some type of thing in there. Secretly, they're like growing werewolves underground. It's just seeping down into like the underground caverns and shit, where they're just like at the roots of like plants and stuff.
Oh, you mean the Argonians?
They're not they'd be
Argonian werewolves. Oh no!
Werewolves? Wargs?
That's Lord Wargs, Lord of the Rings.
Okay, I was thinking like that already sounds like a word. Anyway, let's move on from
weird Argonian
blood
werewolves.
harvest.
The blood harvest.
The blood harvest for the werewolves. Yes.
That are really Argonians.
Well, the court wanted him to confess to witchcraft, but he wouldn't budge from his dedicated answer. Instead of death, they just sentenced him to have a whipping.
I mean, that's a lot better. And you know what? I don't know why we snickered at that, because that's, I mean, a bunch of lashings, it's pretty...
No, it's brutal, but, like, compared to everything else, just like, oh, you're accused of being a witch. Okay, there's no substantial proof. But this dude's a fucking werewolf and eats people. Lashings! And then let him go!
Yeah, that
like,
is...
Huh?
You'll learn your lesson.
Like, he just said that. He went to hell and fought things. And it was like, let him go. He's still on our side, I guess. Like, where... What?
Who knows? That's his old style thinking.
Yeah, let's move on. Hypertrichosis is a condition in which the afflicted person has excessive hair growth, which could explain why people would think one is a werewolf.
Yeah.
So, you know, like...
Oh, yeah, with their faces.
Wolfman.
Hair,
Yeah, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or porphyria. Porphyria is a condition that makes its victims extremely sensitive to sunlight and gives the sufferer reddish teeth, anxiety, seizures, and psychosis. The people suffering from this around these times would often be seen at night, for obvious reasons, sadly making them the perfect candidate to be a werewolf. That is very fucking unfortunate.
Yes.
Like, I have migraines during the day, I'm gonna walk around at night. Some dude comes running out of the fucking forest with a torch and beats you to death. A werewolf! Like, it scared the shit out of me.
I mean, you're getting beaten to death. So at least it'll be over.
Hopefully. It just sets you on fire.
Yeah, then it starts getting bad.
But, yeah, can you imagine if you had both porphyria and hypertrichosis? You're right fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you're just... There's no saving you. But let's move on to saving.
To saving?
Protection.
The protection.
What can you do to prevent a werewolf from attacking you?
What can you do?
Protection. And much like being a real werewolf, if they did exist, they'd have to have a plan to fight them. Well, there are 3 ways to go about possibly curing a werewolf of their afflictions. 1. Cure them medicinally with wolfsbane, which, mind you, is a poisonous plant, and surgically, which involves bloodletting, vinegar drinking, and lots of puke.
Yeah, that sounds like that'll work. Yeah,
That's
totally.
gonna be a hard no from me, dog.
All right. Let's just go down the street and get the priest in here, because you can be exorcised too, which could still involve lots of the first methods and gross repercussions and such. But then there's number 3, and I can't rightfully say this is a technical cure as much as it is an overall devastating thing to do, but you can get shot with a silver bullet to die. So that way you're not plagued by being a werewolf.
So what happens, would it same thing apply if you say got shot in the foot? Would you still die?
Maybe it just turns into a human foot. You know, like you're running around like stub legs now. You're not a full werewolf.
There's no werewolf with fucking human feet.
I don't know how to. That's disturbing.
Oh my god, I'm seeing like just a silly cartoonish thing, like some Scooby-Doo bullshit.
With human feet and hands.
Just sitting there shrugging like, I don't know what happened.
He's got to be running and trying to be vicious, but he just looks goofy. Can someone please draw that?
Do you think that would happen in the middle of an eclipse? Like, he runs up there, he's like, I gotta change, guys, I gotta change. And then it just fully gets blocked out, but he doesn't fully transform. He's like, oh, I'm right, fucked. And like, he can still grab stuff, but like...
He's got opposable thumbs.
Yeah, he's just like, 2 thumbs up, other guys. And then he just walks home, werewolf. Just scratching his wolf head.
He could scratch his own ear.
And just like, oh, this is nice. This is a nice pace.
I'm going to say it again. Someone please draw this. I want to see a picture of this.
Yeah, we'll post it up on our business page on Facebook. It'd be great.
I'll Facebook pay you $10.
But yeah, those are the 3 ways that you can cure quotations marks specifically around that third option. Someone, but
That's the second time you brought up silver bullets, and I feel like I should mention. Like, this is the one werewolf story that I know of that I watched. It's like I remember watching I first heard about it on a History Channel show, a documentary from like 2009, October 2009. So obviously it was a Halloween special, and we all remember History Channel back then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the story I'm referring to is the Beast of. I hope it's a French word, so I'm not great at French, but Gévaudan, something like that, where essentially the beast killed up to over 100 people, reportedly, and was killed several times until it was finally killed. The last known death took place in 1767. By Jean Chastel, and it was said that he killed the beast by forging his own large caliber round mixed with silver, which is believed to be where the original idea of using a silver bullet came from. So this is a French legend that went on for like a good let's see,
a good minute
from 1764 through 1767. So, brief period in time, but a good 5 years. Less than 3 years, 4 years, 4 or 5 years. But the 102 possible victims, and with descriptions of the beast being a man-dog hybrid and just a dog-wolf hybrid, just a large face, large tail, and just would go around terrorizing large groups of people.
Maybe it's a dire
eating
wolf.
their heads, decapitating.
Man wolf, dealable. Man bear pig, scary.
Run.
It's not the wind. Anyway, there are a few other ways other than just taking a bullet to stop being a werewolf. I know we just named off 3, but let's say you're in Germany. I guess in German lore, a way to cure somebody of their werewolfism was to say their Christian name.
That's it.
Yeah, a much less painful way than to go by bullet poison or surgery. Thanks, Germany!
Yeah.
In Christianity, it's thought that an alliance of sorts with the devil would give you the power to transform at will into the beast. It's believed that serial killers in the Middle Ages would use the fact of werewolves an excuse for their violent acts in nature and cannibalistic acts. Others would say that God himself had stricken them victims with the punishment. I don't know why I went southern with that. Sorry. Speaking of punishment, if you were excommunicated from the Roman Catholic Church, well, you were done stricken with werewolfism. I can't even talk. You have lycanthropy. You cannot come into the house of God. I got into a character at that end.
Yeah, you did.
But how do I know if they're a werewolf? I'm glad you asked, Southern Pastor. Well, there are key features when dealing with this mythical beastie. If the person of suspect has a unibrow, they must be a werewolf.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Do they have curved fingernails? They must be claws. They're guilty. They're guilty of donning the fur.
Curved? What does curved fingernails mean?
It's supposed to be like claws and stuff. Like, I guess if they went down.
Okay.
Like claws, you know? Do their ears look weird? Lower than normal? You guessed it. You've got a werewolf. Especially if they walk with a swinging stride. Don't trust them, because they'll get you. Of course, you could always just, cut them deep to see if fur were to be exposed.
Fur on the inside?
Yeah, like you're wearing a fucking human, like, let me wear your skin type thing.
It's a wolf wearing a human suit. Kill it. Cut its skin off.
It's a wolf in human clothing.
Nope, it's just guts.
It's just Scott.
Scott's dead now.
Oh, well.
Somebody was wearing Scott. But yeah, you can cut them to see if, fur were going to, like, shoot out from their skin instead of blood. Which is exactly what they did, as a test of sorts. Of course, they had a type of trial before proven guilty, though it wasn't much of one. The Russians claimed that if someone was a werewolf, they'd have bristles under their tongue, which humans do not.
I mean, I'm just more stuck on the fact that it's like, you're proven guilty in this court, so they cut your skin off, and then they find that there's no fur underneath. So then you were just proven innocent.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, Tim.
Of what?
Such
For being proven innocent?
Yeah, innocent is just an idea back in the day. There was no such thing as innocence.
Yeah, it's either you're guilty or you're going to die.
Essentially. I mean, imagine like if it was going on right now and they just took a knife and just cut you, and they're just like, oh, there's no fur, but you're still probably under the act and guise of witches, burned.
Yeah.
Or at least lashes. I mean, from that one testimony,
Are they going to give me beautiful lashes? I want them to be quite exquisite.
They extended my lashes. Oh my god, they made me really pretty. And then they sent me out to the woods where I got eaten by a bear.
Alright, so let's say you see a wolf and you need to know if it's a werewolf or not. You can't really call out to it. No, wait, you can. In Sweden, it's thought that werewolves still had their human eyes and voices.
So they can talk to you?
Also, if the wolf doesn't have a tail, it's a werewolf. Or a very unfortunate wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm guessing that like they could still like lure you out to the woods. Can you imagine that? Seeing like an 8-foot tall wolf-looking thing just being like, "Sup, bud?"
Yeah,
Sup,
fuck
bro?
that.
Go for a run?
It's not very
Like,
PC of you, bruh. Just like marching towards you.
Oh, God.
Oh.
That just made me think of an old movie.
PC werewolf.
No, dog soldiers, something. The one where like something was like
Toy soldier.
not toy soldiers, no dog. Like it was dogs. It was like essentially like military experiment where they turned these soldiers into werewolves.
Toy soldiers.
And
Small soldiers.
no, that's
No, that was
that's
about an academy.
Which one?
Toy Soldiers was the where terrorists go into an academy of like a military school. Small Soldiers was the toys. But I think I know what you're talking about. I think it's called Dog Soldiers, though.
Oh, that was small soldiers. There was the dog dudes. Against the
Regardless,
military dudes.
there's the Death, Love, and Robots. It's on Netflix, and they have it. All of it's animated and like really, really beautiful looking on a lot of these. They're all horror themed and really dark. And there is one that, just like how Matt was talking, there's like these dog soldiers that are in there, and they can willingly transform into werewolves, and they go out and take out the bad guys and stuff. It was very graphic, very graphic. I really love that show, but without getting too much into that, you can call out to a wolf to see if, are you a wolf? One of the most proficient theories at the time, unfortunately, came at the cost of harming a wolf. And there were a lot that were harmed. But they thought that if the werewolf was harmed in beast form, then surely the injured would appear in the human form. So they went out and just started lashing a bunch of wolves that they saw, hoping to see the same type of marks on humans. Which I can understand the idea, the logic, but that's still horrible.
Yeah,
that is still horrible to do.
Lashing random dogs. Fuck you.
Yeah. You'd most likely, however, only run into a wolf at night. Don't be spending your time with anyone who would be willingly able to commit a sin that is deadly, for they will be cursed and transformed into a werewolf for 7 years, making it incredibly hard to party at night.
Yeah, I'd say. For 7 fucking years.
Yeah.
But guys, I'm finally ready, good to party again. Everyone's gone.
Everyone's settled down. You're married, you got kids. Okay.
Guess we'll go back to fucking myself. This goes back to the woods.
Fuck this, I'm going back to being a werewolf. At least I had fun then.
Yeah, I'm gonna come back and eat your kids. Yeah, that same laugh fades into the woods. Just, oh, we made an enemy.
That's not good.
Well, fuck me, right?
Fuck me running.
But speaking of partying at night, there were a bunch of cults. And I don't really mean a bunch, but there was a Norse cult that worships the wolf and actually made it their life's goal to transform into a wolf. They were a warrior cult that believed to take no damage from iron or fire. There are much a resemblance of the original Berserker. Berserker. Now there is a bit of a difference when it comes to werewolves and lycanthropes. Or lycanthropy. Throughout this, you've heard the terms lycanthropes and werewolves used in practically the same fashion. However, there are key differences. Werewolves refer to one transforming into a wolf, at will or by a curse. A lycanthrope is someone who thinks they have that ability. Many of those who think they do have been known to have mental disorders such as psychosis. But going back to the late 1800s, we'll be introduced into the Revenants, which, if you've heard some of the other episodes that we've done, it's the same term that was used for the old the fucking vampires. Mm-hmm. They had the same type of names.
Revenants?
Yeah. Revenants are a name for dead werewolves that weren't killed properly and have since come back. Some people thought that once a werewolf was dead, it could come back and as an undead werewolf and continue attacking. But only at night, because as by day, it would rest in its human form. Which is... I don't know how they just linked all that together. It's killed it, but it's gonna come back.
They've combined zombies, ghosts, and werewolves into one big thing.
Yeah,
they
right.
called it the same thing that they call vampires because clearly not very creative.
Yeah, it's all pretty much the same thing. Just
anything that could not be explained had to be some kind of monster.
Yeah. No, I mean science was non-existent at the time. Alchemy was not even a big fucking thing. I mean, it was starting to.
Right, alchemy was starting then, but even then it was alchemy, so...
Yeah, we don't know where that led.
Right.
In closing, movies like The Wolfman and Wolf Cop and American Werewolf in London keeps the genre alive. Toy statues and more are still being made today for the die-hard fan of the long-living horror monster. One of my personal favorites is The Wolf Among Us by Telltale Games.
Great game.
Yeah, I love that game.
Spectacular.
If you haven't gotten around to play it, you should.
I need to try to get around to playing it.
That was Telltale at their best. That and season 1 and 2 of Walking Dead.
Yeah, they had a lot of fun games. They really did.
The Wolf Among Us was my favorite. That one blew me away.
I mean, if you have anything else to add in, I would add it in now because I don't really have much.
Oh, let's see. The Underworld series, the first 2 at least, are great for terms of. I love their werewolves because they're just big fucking badass monsters, which is always cool.
Yeah.
Then until the series just jumped the shark after the second one, in my opinion. But that's another story. But get into that. Oh, another.
The only one I could think of is the werewolf transformation from Skyrim. I loved their incorporation of it. It was fucking amazing.
I never got far on Skyrim.
You didn't have to get far.
Yeah.
You just had to go to a town and activate a quest.
I didn't go that direction.
Some of my favorite werewolf movies would be, I mentioned earlier, An American Werewolf in London, and then the classics, the 1941, The Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr. playing the Wolfman, and then another one, Werewolf of London, which came out in 1935, so it came out before The Wolfman. It's where that poem came from that we opened the episode with. So yes, Werewolf of London would have been the first one. Not the Wolfman.
Not the Wolfman.
Not the Wolfman.
They need to make like a better werewolf movie for nowadays.
They
Everyone-
will.
they-
It's going to come in cycles, just like vampires did.
Yeah, that got overplayed really quick.
And now zombies.
Zombies is always
Zombies
fun.
has been Zombies was big in the early 2010s, but now it's finally like dying down.
I think-
it's just the market's oversaturated.
You can blame World War
now.
Z for that. I blame World War Z for that.
World War Z, I think, was the first sign of it oversaturation. I think The Walking Dead was the big outbreak, and now
The big outbreak.
break the big outbreak. Okay, there you go. We'll leave it at that. And then that trend has kind of just been again oversaturated. And so werewolves, that's what needs to make the show up now, because damn it, werewolves are awesome. They just have to be done right.
That's true.
And that's just the hard part, is doing werewolves right, not being cheesy and fucking
Overly cliche.
overly cliche. But that's the story of horror in general.
Yeah, you got the truth. Well, anyway, we're at the end for this episode, so we hope you enjoyed all the information and facts that we've thrown your way.
As always, you could like, subscribe, follow, click that bell. Stay notified.
We are not NPR radio.
Oh. I was just trying to woo everyone to sleep at the
Or
end of this.
NPR, I should say.
Now that you've listened to this episode, you can go to sleep. It does not matter if you're at work. Go to
Nothing matters.
sleep. Except which is hell.
Nothing matters.
All right, Pat's becoming a bit narcissistic. I think we should probably go.
What's the matter? Nothing.
Starts grinning.
Friedrich Nietzsche.
All right.
Anyway, sorry.
We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Death.
Which is hell.